have the same opportunity that he had here.
No. No.
Like, so corporate is writing his check, but like us growing up, the reason we move here is because we don't have it better back home. Like like for me, I'm the first person ever in my family in America. Everybody else is back home. Everybody's depending on me. Like all of them, my mom, she's dying to come here. Like she willing to do anything just.
Yeah, we know your mama willing to do anything to come over here. We know y'all be willing to do some strange things for some change to come over here. Damn, and that's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, huh? He's sending money back to the whole family allegedly, huh? Everybody's relying on him. He said my mama ready to bust tricks to get out of here. She ready to work the blade on Figueroa to get out of here, whatever it takes.
For her to be in America. So for me, when I look at those like little thing, I'm like, yeah, American dream is for everybody. Like, yeah, we might not have the same opportunity as the white people, but there's still that little chance that a lot of us back home are willing to take just to get here.
But they don't want to take the chance to fix their own homeland, y'all. They don't want to take the chance to fix up their own country, but they will do anything to flee and come to America and then shit on the accomplishments of foundational Black Americans. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. We can never be in one accord with y'all because y'all flee while we stay and we fight.
I trust law enforcement.
I have a thing to say.
All right, can the disagreeer step forward?
I got married to a young lady who did 15 years in prison for a robbery she didn't commit. I myself was incarcerated for 6 months for a burglary that I couldn't have committed because I was in prison. So in 1987, I'm doing 19 months in prison. When I came home in 1988, I was given a burglary charge and I had to sit 6 months. And the judge did not kick it out because there's no way I could have done it. He kicked it out because they didn't serve me the warrant while I was in prison. So I don't trust them. They lie and they do things and it affects our people. So many people I know who have been wrongfully arrested, wrongfully convicted, and they actually lie on the stand. So
the only thing we all on one accord about is not trusting the popo. All right.
there's no trust.
As you guys know, I am from Richmond, Virginia. It was the capital of the Confederate.
This motherfucker, this African tether, this motherfucker, sir, you already said that you are a first generation fleer. You were one of the first people in your family to make it over here. Now this motherfucker just said he's from Richmond, Virginia. Sir, you are not from Virginia. You are from a no-name country in Africa. Only no name because you're too ashamed to tell us which country you're from. But look how he just claimed Richmond, Virginia like that. Peep game, y'all, peep game. He really just claimed, he said, I am from Richmond, Virginia. No, sir, you're not from there. You don't want us to know where you're from.
And it affects our people. So many people I know who have been wrongfully arrested, wrongfully convicted, and they actually lie on the stand. So there's no trust.
As you guys know, I am from Richmond, Virginia. It was the capital of the Confederate.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Brutally abused by the police there. Like personally, I was at the river on the 4th of July. I don't smoke, I don't do none of that. The police come and arrest me because I look like a drug dealer. Like they arrested me.
What? The stereotype.
Then when I was in high school, my senior year, my father went to jail over a car accident.
Sir, we don't believe your tether ass. What was you doing on 4th of July? You was cutting up on 4th of July. Don't no police officer walk up to you and just arrest you because they think you look like a drug dealer. What the fuck is he talking about? And then his father was arrested for a car accident. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I said earlier I'm African and I barely made it over here, but really I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And on the 4th of July, I got arrested for just looking like a drug dealer. Sir, stop the cap.
Car accident, and I was left alone at 17 years old. I was grateful. One of my teachers took me in and like raised me. I try to stay away from the police as much as possible.
First of all, they're human beings, and I think that just because you put a badge on doesn't magically bewitch you with like integrity and a desire to actually help the people around you. I think a lot of times police culture comes from police families. It comes from like legacy lines and this whole like kind of like culture about stuff. I mean, I don't trust them any more than I would trust any other person. They haven't earned that necessarily, especially not as an institution.
And yeah, feisty Black Tina, I heard the story. Yeah, there was an African boy in the 1920s they brought over and put him in the Bronx Zoo. They put him in the Bronx Zoo and put him with the monkeys and had all the white folks come in and taking pictures with him. And it was us foundationals who rallied together, got him freed. And unfortunately, he took his life. Fortunately, he committed suicide after all the malnourishment and all the mistreatment. And it was a crazy, crazy story. And his fellow Africans wasn't the ones to free him. It was us. Make it make sense.
Its purest form, I think it's necessary, but they have a lot of living up to that to do and to make up for if they're going to be trusted.
I've seen law enforcement here on social media and seeing how they treat people of color, you know, from like hitting them. I mean, George Floyd, you know, rest in peace. But just seeing that from my experience being here, I was scared, you know, like every time I'd see a cop pass by.
And yeah, new era is seeing through all the lies. Yeah, he said he was the first one in his family to come to the U.S. All his family's back home. But then he was saying that his pops was over here and got arrested. And mind you, just got arrested for a car accident. Just arrested. How does you getting arrested for a car accident equate to you abandoning your 17-year-old and a teacher having to take him in and raise him? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say he was arrested. Sir, you can bail out. Sir, you can get freed shortly thereafter. It doesn't make sense why your child had to be raised by a school teacher because you got arrested. Y'all, these tethers be lying. These tethers be lying. And if you ask them their birthday, they'll say January 1st.
I'm like, okay, I better make sure I'm driving okay, you know, because I don't want to be stopped or make sure you're not in any harm's way, you know. But it's sad to feel that pressure every time you see a cop going by. And even if they trying to help, but I wouldn't even want that help because of what I've been seeing on social media, you know, and also seeing the case of people being wrongfully, you know.
Yeah, he told us earlier to get over racism, but now he's trying to cry racism. I got arrested for looking like a drug dealer, and my father got arrested just for being in a car accident, but he wants us to stop talking about racism.
Taken to prison, that's like unfair. Like, what type of research are you doing before you arrest people?
And I immediately thought about the history of the police too, just tracing that back to slave patrols, which became our modern day police departments. And
Oh, the fact that like if you have a felony, you can't vote. Like that to me is like, talk about the loss of the American dream. Like you are a citizen of this country, you should always have a right to vote.